Hey guys, how's it going? And I just wanted to say welcome for checking out this really short video. Um, I didn't want to make this long. I just wanted it to be short and sweet. It's literally less than 10 slides. It's like 9 slides, but um, pretty much I just want to take this time to kind of talk about uh, kind of what I consider to be the three laws in terms of utilizing Facebook ads to sell your listings a lot quicker, and then as well, hopefully, just make more income in the process. So, real quick, who am I and why did I make this? So, my name is Joe Nate, which is kind of a nickname on Joe Nathan, and the reason why I go by that so much is because my name's spelled very close to Jonathan, and people butcher it all the time, and I don't blame them. But it's tough when it's like that's not my real name, and then I have to keep explaining it. So I figured it helps out everybody. But I'm a Facebook marketer who specializes in real estate listings. I love all things real estate. Real estate's always been um, kind of a fun industry to kind of keep tabs on and involved in, and so I just finally decided to take the leap doing marketing, and so now I essentially market for real estate agents and brokers and mortgage brokers. I just moved to Seattle from Louisiana, 2,455 miles of driving. I was convinced for the longest time that I would never make it here because the closer I got, it felt like the state was moving further away. But I made it, and so it's been quite the change environmentally, for sure. Um, as I mentioned, I have a love for the industry. I'm an aspiring investor. I'm looking at getting into real estate on that side eventually. And again, I love marketing. I love helping people establish presence and just kind of getting their name out there uh, more effectively. And the fact is that real estate, agents and brokers and mortgage brokers, many need help with advertising, right? There's so many old school methods that are used, and they're fine, but there's more opportunity out there, even online. Like posting your ad on just like your page and Facebook groups isn't enough. The reason why those things aren't enough is because of one big thing: obscurity, right? Those kind of that kind of communication really only gets released to so many people, right? And yes, like you could, like boost your page or like boost a post, and that may go to some people. But one thing people don't realize is that those kind of methods are more designed for engagement and not conversion. And there's a difference there, right? Engagement being that someone might engage with it in the sense of sharing it or liking it or posting it, and that's great because you might get a little bit of a viral effect there. But at the end of the day, we need buyers, right? We need these deals closed. So we need these listings showing up to people that are interested in buying. And the fact is that there's a huge opportunity in advertising on Facebook, right? Billions of users. And yes, one specific city might not have billions of users, but the fact that you could expose your listing to hundreds of thousands of people, right? You are guaranteed to get leads if they're shown to the right people. And at the end of the day, I want to help educate you about the possibilities that exist within Facebook advertising. And ultimately, I want to see you take home bigger paychecks, which is a big reason I got into Facebook marketing for real estate agents. My goal for this year, in fact, is to take 100 5-figure earning realtors to 6 figures, and then maybe just a few of those 6-figure realtors to 7. And because I want to make an impact on the industry, I want to help change lives, right? And I want to be known for just being that guy who helps, agents and brokers achieve what's possible. And finally, guys, thank you for connecting. If you've accepted my friend requests or my messages, I'm just, trying to kind of get to know other realtors in the space. And so, if you've been receptive back, I just want to thank you for that. So let's take a quick look at what it takes. So what I'm going to do now real quickly is come here. because I want you guys to see this. And what this is a commission calculator. And the idea behind this is that it gives you a idea of what it takes to reach your goals, right? And in these yellow boxes here, there's um, things such as average home price, commission percentage, right? A standard 3% after splits, like before broker agent splits, and then the percentage that the agent takes home minus, some marketing expenses and what that income per unit would be, fixed costs over the year, and then as well as the lead conversion rate. So a couple things that kind of stick out to me here with this calculator, and let me know if you want this, by the way, because I mean I'd love to send you the link. Is that the average realtor makes about 40 grand a year, which usually translates to about 14 homes, and as well as roughly 555 leads generated throughout the year, right? So um, essentially, and these are just general numbers here, and you can always adjust this based on your area. But as far as lead volume, right, these tend to be more solid, right? The fact is that 10% of inquiries become leads roughly, and then half of those leads become qualified, and half of the qualified leads actually, become clients. And this is important, guys, because this right here tells us is that our lead volume is critical to achieving our goals. This is not an option, right? Volume is not an option when it comes to leads. The reason it's not an option is because of this. If we're not generating enough of this, we can't increase this. These two work together, right? So, again, as I said, my goal when I'm working with the realtor is to help them break the mold. And what that means for me is $100,000 for the year minimum. And that, you can see, translates to 30 homes and 1,205 leads, right? So we can start to kind of see how we need to leverage tools that help us get this kind of lead volume in throughout the year, because this translates to almost 100 leads a month exactly. So, which is easy. That is completely doable, right? But my personal goal is not that. My personal goal is to help agents reach this category: 71 closings and 2,800 leads throughout the year, right? And this isn't even factoring in these home prices. I just did this close to a national average and a standard percentage, right? But as we can see here, guys, we need the volume to give us the opportunities, right? Real estate is sales. Sales is opportunities. Sales is closing opportunities. We need as many opportunities as we can, because that is where this, right, becomes possible, is with this. And even with 2,800 leads throughout the year, that is completely doable with the right tools. And so I just wanted to kind of take this quick second to show you the power here. And you can mess with these numbers as well, because these all just assume, again, home prices, commission percentage, and also if you just even convert your leads at a better rate, right? These numbers all change accordingly, right? If you're better at converting leads, then you're probably not going to need this many leads, right? And then hitting this number might have it for you a lot sooner. But this is my personal goal when I'm working with someone, is I want to get them into that next level range, that kind of money that helps them provide for their families, take the trips they want, have the lifestyle they want, right? And not just be another agent that's not sure of what the next month brings. I want them to have opportunities, right? Chances to consistently close deal after deal after deal. And the only way this becomes possible is if we have tools that go, right, to take us from this, to take us to this, right? So, with that being said, let me hop back over here. I just kind of wanted to show that to you guys real quick. So at the end of the day, we need to know our enemy, right? When we're getting ready to fight, the victor is usually the one who is the most prepared. So, just to emphasize again, what is the most common enemy that keeps many realtors from the income and lifestyle they desire? It is leads. It is leads. This is the lifeblood, right? So, I just want to kind of just get your mind in that frame of what can I do to generate leads? Like, what can I do to keep this pipeline full? And so the lead calculator here, I kind of stepped ahead of myself, but we saw the power of that there. And again, that I have that calculator available to anybody who wants it. Feel free to let me know or message me, and I'll get it over to you. So, introducing the 3 fundamental laws of Facebook advertising. So please keep these in mind the next time you list online. This is not meant to be, some end all be all that will just answer every single thing right. This isn't quite meant for that. Like I do have strategy sessions for that where we can kind of go more into the specific things that are required. But I want to give you guys a framework so at least you have a piece of something that you can take and start implementing now to start getting better results. Law number 1. You must be obsessive about exposure. This is not an option anymore. Exposure is not an option. There are too many houses, there are too many realtors to just be caught up into the hustle and bustle of every other realtor and broker, right? Advertising your listing on Facebook buy sell groups does not work. I see this so much, and because I'm in a lot of real estate groups and just kind of, you know, um, learning more about like the challenges of my market and pain points and just places that maybe I can help out at. And one glaring thing that I noticed is that so many are just being listed on buy and sell groups, right? But that doesn't work because it doesn't give you the exposure you need. Boosting your page with your listings is not cost effective, right? Like boosting posts, boosting your page is not cost effective because when you uh, pay to have those listing boosted, again, that's more meant for engagement. And it barely works. I'm not going to say it doesn't work, right? Because a lead is a lead at the end of the day, but it barely works. And advertising your listings on your Facebook page can work if you have a huge following. But again, that requires constant nurturing of your Facebook page. And even then, pages are meant more for engagement. And networking, emails, the usual fundamental things can work too, but they're more time intensive. And in this day and age, right, we don't have a lot of time to do the things we want. And so we're in this constant battle of finding ways to free up our time. And then finally, the fact is, according to the National Association of Realtors, 72% of homebuyers work with the first agent to reach out to them after making an inquiry. Isn't that insane? 72%. So, when you look at that number, that's clearly the majority, right? So we have to be obsessed about exposure and reaching out. So what does work? Well, 1, timely follow-up. Not giving other agents the chance to creep into your space. Like when I submit, I guess like when I generate leads from my realtors, one thing I make them promise me is that they follow up timely. Not so much, for my sake, that is because when somebody's looking at a house, they are usually not looking at one house, and other houses are listed by other realtors. And so, and then also advertising for conversions and lead objectives is what works. It works because it's telling Facebook, hey, Facebook, this is my audience. This is what I need. And I need you to help me filter down to the people most likely to take this specific engagement with my house and give me their contact info so I can reach out to them and give them more specifics about this listings and set up appointments and such. I see Um, I see that when those are, I guess really these two are dialed in on specifically, like at really high levels, the agents tend to do really, really well. And as you can see down here, when you're advertising for the right objectives, these kind of results are possible. You know, like I have the blue underline there for cost per result, $1.37 leads. You know, leads for $2.77. And you compare that to places like Premier Agent, where you're often probably paying $50 a lead minimum onto 100 plus, and then getting into 6 month contracts. That is super, super, super expensive when you can get leads for these kind of costs. Law number two, you must target, target, and target effectively. This is probably preaching to the choir a little bit, but you know the average home buyer is usually in their early 30s, mid to late 20s. You know, so obviously when you're targeting a 17, 18-year-old is not working, right? So don't just let your stuff run. And again, this goes back to why boosting is so ineffective, is because again it's centered more around just a general audience and engagement. And also, when people are moving in the same area, it usually isn't that far, so there's no point in targeting people who live 100 miles away for a house that you're selling in a specific area, because that person 9 times out of 10 is not going to be moving that far away. So when you're advertising for things like, people who live in the area, that is way more effective than trying to advertise for people moving to the area. And again, general rules of thumb, right? Because at the end of the day, anything's possible, but we're talking about things where we're putting the odds in our favor, right? Which gives us the best chance at closing that house and bringing home more commission checks. And then also, are your ads reaching out to where people are searching for homes, right? Where are people searching for homes? Over 50% of people are now searching for their homes online. Are you reaching out to those places where people are searching for homes? And then finally, consider your home price. Who is most likely at a place where they can afford that house you're advertising? Is it professionals? Is it married couples? Is it a single person? Right? Everyone's different. But you must target, you must know your audience, right? You must know the demographics in and out. And again, I say that because when you're advertising, that's where these things come in handy. It's not enough to just post a general ad. It doesn't work like that. And then law number three, your listings need sex appeal. I can't tell you how many times I've seen just these general listings and they just sound the same. In fact, if you don't do any other kind of advertising, please just make your listings sound sexy, right? They, like there's so many houses that are just described with beautiful granite countertop, awesome view, 5 square foot yard for Timmy to play in with his toys, right? Yawn. Every other house sounds the same. How does that help compel a customer who is online, by the way? Again, remember, online, infinite options to hone in on that house, right? That doesn't help. Now let's compare that to sizzle words. Hot, won't last long, near the heartbeat of, you know, downtown or this specific area that this place is known for, right? Find out why so many people are asking about this such and such. Which house do you think would catch more eyeballs? The one that sounds the same, right? Or the one that actually pops, that has some sizzle, that attracts potential buyers and lets them know, hey, there's probably something about this house, right? It's the same reason why nobody cares about $1 million lottery, but everybody goes into a frenzy over the $1 billion lottery. We don't want average. If we wanted average, right, then average would be all the rage, but as we know, it's not. It's not. So I encourage you, if you don't do anything else, if you ignore everything else I've said in this short video, please sexify your listings. And as a fun fact, selling your listings happens in two ways: selling it and then selling it. In fact, 50% of my job is done when I know I've sold the house on paper. So when I look at an ad that I've built and I see, okay, I'd buy this house, I know I'm dialed in. Because if I make it sound attractive enough and it looks good to me, right, then I know it's going to look good to other people, right? If it catches my eye, I know it's going to catch someone else's eye. And that's the point, is to make it pop, make it sizzle, make it stick out. And that alone, if you disregard anything else I've said, you said, Jonay, you're a total idiot. Like if you just disregard anything else I've said, if you do this alone, it is guaranteed to boost your income for this year. Make your listings pop. And so, guys, as I promised, this will be short and sweet. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I hope this helps. And if you just do nothing different, but just use those three laws, you will make more money this year. I promise you. And as a bonus, if you would like more info on how to dramatically grow your leads, streamline it, and have more than enough leads to hit your goals, I invite you to a strategy session with me. Like I don't do like all the, like money and stuff like that. It's just 30 minutes. I'm inviting you guys just to chat with me about strategies, your goals, and then really just seeing if there's any way that I can help. But just a big note is that spots are limited. I don't have, a ton of time, unfortunately, because, depending on when sessions are taken, then everything else has to get modified as well. So my spots are limited, and I encourage you to take advantage of them. And if that interests you, I'll put, you can schedule here to have a link. I'll be sharing the slides with everyone who are interested, so you can click the link in there. Or if not, you can visit bit.ly/2019 game plan, and then that takes you to my scheduling page. And then, in fact, it'll look something like this, and then you'll actually be able to click there, and then click a date, and then schedule a time to chat. And then I'll have a couple questions for you to fill in. Feel free to fill them in as well, and that just helps me out also. You can confirm it there, and then just fill in the questions. Fill in the ones you feel comfortable filling in. I don't need them all, but just to kind of give me a general idea of where you're at, so that way we can kind of get together and just talk about strategies to help you kind of break the mold. And then finally, guys, I just wanted to say, feel free to add me on Facebook. I love connecting through Messenger. Feel free to add me as a friend. And like I said, I'm just, avidly working to kind of become a big presence in the real estate industry. And the only way to get there is through, one connection at a time. So thank you guys so much. I hope this has helped out somebody out there. Again, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. And again, if you need that calculator or anything of the sort, feel free to let me know. And with that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day.